Alright, we back with an update. Cause we gonna keep doing it over and over again. Hashtag don't kill Melly. Fuck Brittany, fuck Dorian, fuck Joe Vince, all of them, and even that damn activist. I think he pulling her over and ass too fat trainer status. Cause he all up in the face. He been at the crib more than the boyfriend, the kids, and the dog. You know what I'm saying? He been just chilling.
Well, then he done all the talking. Oh, she's not gonna say nothing. She's
Hell
not gonna
no.
say nothing.
So we gotta get into this, you know what I'm saying? We gonna keep y'all the titty of the shit as we rock out. So let's get it.
The community is coming together to honor 4-year-old Maleah Davis. They're holding a balloon release for Maleah. If you would like to attend, it's at the Oyster Creek Park on Highway 6 in Sugar Land. It starts at 7 tonight. And if you are planning to attend, organizers ask that you wear blue for child abuse awareness.
No, you see him scrolling through some shit. I don't even have to do it no more. I can just lean back and talk about it.
And could you comment tonight? Drink your tea.
This is a mess. This is a complete mess.
Mary Durham doesn't even recognize the home she's lived in since the 1950s. Over time, it's fallen into disrepair.
Okay, here we go.
Say, Charlotte, drink your tea.
During events, he's accused of making the comment that if he ever killed someone, he knew some places to hide the body. So that's led Texas EquiSearch to his mail route in Rocheron.
It is another twist in this case, and it's been more than 2 weeks since Maleah was last seen on camera. She was pictured outside her family's apartment with her mother's fiance.
We told police she was abducted, and she hasn't been seen since. Today, search teams followed clues to a mail route in Brazoria County.
And right now, that is where Marcelino Benito is live with much more. Marcelino?
Well, guys, there is still so much land out here to search through, and EquiSearch tells me tonight there's growing concern that they may not be able to find Maleah's body right now because it could be submerged in floodwater. Day 2 in Brazoria County, Texas EquiSearch desperately trying to locate Maleah Davis's body. An eerie tip led search teams back to Rocheron.
No, allegedly he told his mother-in-law about a year ago. He says, God, if I ever killed anybody, there's places out there in Rocheron where I can hide a body and it's never been found.
Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vance, the main suspect in her disappearance, delivered mail in this area 2 years ago. The search focused on his old mail route. EquiSearch director Tim Miller hoping an aerial search can turn up more clues.
And we flew a lot of areas. Of course, we're looking for her, looking for any evidence, looking for a burn spot in case he did burn her.
But so far, nothing. Not a sign of 4-year-old Maleah.
And we're following up every single call, and unfortunately, I don't think we're any closer right now than we were the very first day we started.
Frustration building among volunteers who have been searching for now nearly 2 weeks.
This has certainly taken an emotional toll on the searchers.
Miller says areas around Rocheron they'd like to search are still covered in water. Real concern growing that Maleah's body may be submerged.
And this is a baby. No, this baby did not choose where it's at right now and doesn't want to be where it's at right now. And it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's like I said, we're human. I wish we weren't. I wish we didn't have feelings. Unfortunately, we do.
And it just tearing me apart.
Strangers like Celeste Johnson drove from Houston to Rocheron just to help.
She could be my daughter, your daughter, anybody's daughter.
EquiSearch says if they continue to come up empty-handed, they plan to reassess the next steps in the search soon.
God bless her. Just God bless her. We're not going to quit. We may suspend, but we'll never quit.
I'm told search teams are also out in Rosenberg today, but that also yielded nothing. As far as the search here, I'm told EquiSearch may make a decision in the next couple hours about to suspend it indefinitely until they get more information. Reka, back to you.
Oh, this is such a heartbreaking story that continues.
I think they should inflict pain on this brother. Like take a piece of wood, put a nail in it, and just whack him.
Yeah.
I think pretty soon.
Has grown to care about, even though most of us have never met her. Tonight, the very latest on the search for Maleah Davis, a 4-year-old Houstonian now missing for 12 days. Friday marks 2 weeks since Maleah was last seen.
Yeah, since then, there have been 2 points of focus, the search and the investigation. Her mother's ex-fiancé, Darion Vence, remains in jail on a tampering with a corpse charge tonight.
Meanwhile, in less than 1 hour, the community comes together for Maleah. A vigil and balloon release scheduled for 7 o'clock.
And as far as the search goes, these are the areas where volunteers have looked over a 2-week span, most recently in Rocheron. Our Brittany Jeffers begins our coverage there with the very latest on the search for Maleah. Brittany?
Well, it's a very long day for those crews, but they just wrapped up the search for today. They tell me that this location was very specific because they say it's along Darion Vence's former mail route.
Pretty tough area out here.
For search crews, the landscape around Rocheron has been unforgiving.
This out here is considered the jungle. That's usually about 3 or 4 feet deep. It's got alligators and snakes in it.
People on ATVs and helicopters are trying to look beyond the swampland and tall brush for any sign of Maleah Davis.
You can hide pretty much anything you wanted to out here.
We got a lot of things against us. We're doing the best that we can possibly do.
Tim Miller says his crews are on a rough path, but it's the same path that Maleah's stepfather took as a mail courier.
Down 526, down 1462, up 288.
USPS confirmed with Channel 2 that Vence worked for the Postal Service from June 2017 to August 2018. Miller says a statement from Vence's past led them here.
He actually said to his mother-in-law a year ago that he said, man, if I ever killed anybody, I got some places down in Rocheron and they'd never find the body.
Miller says that Maleah's mother confirmed that statement with him. Kent Thibodeau lives along Vence's former route on 526. He says he doesn't recall Vence, but says EquiSearch was in his front yard this morning. And with children and grandchildren of his own, he says the search is tough to watch.
That's scary. To think that someone could just drop her somewhere out here, it kind of upsets you.
Now, Miller tells me that right now his crews are both physically
Sponsors. Sponsors.
I can tell you, in speaking with the father and her extended family, this little girl is deeply loved by a large amount of people. He tells us he is heartbroken right now. He could barely come up with the words to speak with us. Here's what he had to say.
We know that
Surrounded by his family, Craig Davis spoke with ABC 13 in his first interview since his daughter's disappearance. Investigators say 4-year-old Maleah has been gone since Friday.
I haven't spoken to the public because I can't talk about my daughter I can't control my emotions. I can't predict myself. I break down and I cry.
In a video post,
He sound fake as the mama. I'm just saying.
I break down and I cry.
I'm just saying. Nobody cares. You should cry.
Everybody.
to Instagram, Davis shared sweet moments with his daughter as he anguishes over her whereabouts now. Investigators say Maleah's stepfather was the last person to see her. Darion Vence told police he was driving to the airport Friday night with Maleah and his 1-year-old baby boy. He pulled off at Greens Road and 59 to check a tire, and that's when he says he was ambushed by 3 Hispanic men in a 2010 blue Chevy pickup similar to this one. Vence says the men kidnapped the family. He says he was in and out of consciousness and was dropped off in Sugar Land Saturday evening with the baby, but Maleah, he says, was gone. Desperate for answers, this father says he wants to speak with that stepdad.
I'm not putting the blame.
His family, Craig Davis, spoke with ABC 13 in his first interview since his daughter's disappearance. Investigators say 4-year-old Maleah has been gone since Friday.
I haven't spoken to the public because I can't talk about my daughter I can't control my emotions. I can't predict myself. I break down and I cry.
In a video posted to Instagram, Davis shared sweet moments.
First of all, you know what that sound like? Fake news or fake witnesses? because I can't talk about my daughter. Just like her mother couldn't show pictures of her or anything like that. So if you can't talk about her, I mean, if I gotta break down and cry, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you everything you need to know so you can find my damn baby. Fuck all that blood.
I'll be like, just let me have him for 5 minutes. He'll tell you.
With his daughter as he anguishes over her whereabouts now.
Good.
Investigators say Maleah's stepfather was the last person to see her. Darian Vince told police he was driving to the airport Friday night with Maleah and his 1-year-old baby boy. He pulled off at Greens Road and 59 to check a tire, and that's when he says he was ambushed by 3 Hispanic men in a 2010 blue Chevy pickup similar to this one. Vince says the men kidnapped the family. He says he was in and out of consciousness and was dropped off in Sugar Land Saturday evening with the baby, but Maleah, he says, was gone. Desperate for answers, this father says he wants to speak with that stepdad.
I'm not putting the blame on anybody. I just need the questions that aren't answered to be answered.
First of all, don't the media know unless they under 70 common law marriage that these niggas can't be your stepfather? So then they have no parental rights. They just call it like how niggas be, yo, that's my cousin. We go way back. Where did you meet him? Last month? Y'all can go way back. And unless your cousin is Kevin Gates, you can't just find no new cousins all of a sudden. Bitch, please.
There are so many unanswered questions.
Really?
And it's not for the public to answer them for me. It's not for police officers to answer them for me. It's not for the news to answer them for me. It's for Darian.
We have not seen him
to answer for me.
And the pressure to find her is intensified by the fact that she needs medical attention. Maleah recently underwent head surgery for a skull fracture from an accidental fall at home. Davis says even through her hospital stays, his daughter stayed strong and determined.
Even in pain, even in her injury, my daughter went through everything she went through, and it did not change anything about her.
CPS did investigate that head injury. It happened under the care of her mother.
Why they keep not realizing she's 4 years old, and if her brain cracked open, let's be honest here, her intelligence ain't on the 4-year-old level at this moment. So why they acting like she grown? Well, she took it on the chin, son. She came out of the hospital on sound the same, but ain't nothing. I don't need no helmet.
Ain't no need in going back there.
You know,
and you should have been saying, just let me have that man for 5 minutes.
Well, you can't say that on the news, though.
Mother and stepfather. She and 2 siblings were removed from the home in August, but returned in February.
Be like that.
Craig Davis does tell us he was able to meet with his stepfather, Darian Vince, over the weekend, but it was a brief interview and emotions, it was a brief get-together, and emotions were very high. He has not been able to get a hold of his stepfather since, and so he's just very eager to speak with him again to really understand what happened that led to his daughter's disappearance Friday night.
The public got more emotions than him and her.
Yeah, blood. Okay, what's this?
One poor woman on there just crying her heart out.
A Texas EquiSearch tells us they're temporarily suspending the search for 4-year-old Maleah Davis. Despite days and days of looking, they have not found any sign of her yet. And they won't search again until they get more information in this case. And tonight, raw emotions at a balloon release for the little girl. Hundreds of people showing up to pray for Maleah and demanding justice. They talked to our Lauren Tallarico. She is in Sugar Land tonight. Lauren?
Alan, I've got to tell you, I've been to a lot of balloon releases in my career, and I don't think I've ever been to one that was this big. This little girl has truly touched the lives and hearts of so many people. And tonight, this is where they were demanding both justice and praying.
Father God, we come today just to come together as family, friends, as a community.
Tonight, prayers offered up to heaven. We love you, Maleah. Along with thousands of balloons carrying messages to Maleah.
Only God knows, baby girl. Fly high, little angel.
Dear Maleah, I know heaven is grateful for you.
I'm sorry, Maleah. We love you. A balloon release that drew nearly 1,000 people. Some who know the little 4-year-old.
No child deserves to lose their life behind nonsense.
But most total story.
I need y'all to hashtag on all your social media platforms, Dear Maleah. That's the hashtag that's going to trend tomorrow. And it's on mothers.
Rangers.
What if I have a 5-year-old and just looking at her? How could somebody? It makes me want to cry because, we've all been waiting to hear, not necessarily good news, but at least some news.
Anger went hand in hand with sorrow tonight.
Stop letting people abuse these kids.
Along with a question everyone wants answered.
Really good news, but at least some news.
Anger went hand in hand with sorrow tonight.
Stop letting people abuse these kids.
Along with a question everyone wants answered.
It's just people want to know. Is she okay? Is she safe?
Justice for Maleah. A single cry lifted on the voices of thousands.
She's Houston's baby. She's our baby.
We are certainly hoping for that justice for Maleah. Now, we did not see Maleah's mother here tonight, but family was representing her biological father. Reporting live from Sugar Land, I'm Lauren Tallarico, KHOU 11 News.
I can't see no better than shit did.
No, strangers are feeling that pain more than
Our own parents.
yeah.
But yeah, stop abusing these kids, man. On God. We out, you hear me?